Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk Hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Welcome back, hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here. Rock Cod Rick Maxa here, too, in the Mighty 1090 studios with Michael Schweit, who's the president of the Federation of Fly Fishers Southwest Council, having fun talking all kinds of fishing, including fly fishing, both fresh and saltwater.
You're not kidding. I love hearing about this kind of stuff. It's always a different take, and what a great time to get into it, man. If you were just wanting to do the saltwater fly fishing, you've been on 10 trips in a row and you caught your fish and looking for something fun, like we were talking about last week, you know, maybe you had limits 3 or 4 times, you want to try to get them on the popper, or you just want to add a different excitement level to it. This is it, man. What a perfect time to get into this sport. And I think the same thing you. I mean, I'm that same guy that you talked about earlier, where you always kind of have that attitude of, oh, fly fishing is just not for me. It's tougher. It's the Lake City Elite. It's just not that way anymore.
No.
And this is so I love hearing about this.
You went to Christmas Island and hadn't fly fished that much, and how many bonefish a day did you catch over there on the fly?
A bunch, you know. I mean, 6 to 25 a day, and I didn't, you know, I mean, I'm a conventional guy through and through, always have been, always will be, but I didn't think going over, you have these preconceived ideas on what you think you're going to do, and I'm going to Christmas Island. I definitely wanted to catch a bonefish on the fly, but I certainly didn't think it was going to be the thing that I wanted to do more than anything else, and it was my favorite. Every day, I would rather, you know, walk in the flats and cast the fly more than anything else. It was my favorite thing there.
And they eat the fly way better than they do spinning gear. And it was interesting watching people. People we take over to Christmas Island would go, no, I don't fly fish. I'm going to spin cast. By the second day, they were fly fishing because they were getting so outfished by the fly guys.
Well, especially for bonefish, because bonefish, you guys have fished them. They cruise. They're like feeding here and then they feed there. If you've made a cast with a conventional, it's like he changes directions, you got to wind it back. Yeah. With the fly, it's like, okay, he just changed directions. Just rip that 50 feet of line out of the water and put it right down on his nose over there. Yeah. You know, that's the advantage on that one.
Fun stuff. Well, as you can hear, great show today and giving away a great prize.
You're not kidding, man. Really cool. And thanks to our good buddies up at AFTCO for giving away just an awesome prize today. If you want to give us a call this morning, we'd love to hear from you. 858-457-1090. That's the local number. Again, 858-457-1090. Or toll free. That toll free number, 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. If you didn't hear the beginning of the show, just such a cool prize from our friends at AFTCO. And that's an AFTCO all-weather fishing kite, along with the AFTCO kite clips. Again, courtesy of our friends at AFTCO, really, really cool prize pack. And as we said before, just talk about perfect timing, such good kite fishing opportunities this year. Somebody's going to get a really nice kite from our friends up at AFTCO.
Yeah, indeed. All right, let's find out what's biting.
You got it. It's time for the Catch Report today. Catch Report sponsored in part by Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Summer fishing means it's time to call Fisherman's Processing. If you're on a private boat, you got to call them the day before you go. You can make any arrangements you need to drop fish either at their dock, or you can do them after hours. You can go right to their location at Liberty Station. They do such good things and so amazingly accommodating for private boaters as well as guys fishing on the sport boats.
They spoil you.
Yeah, they really do. For more information, you can friend them on Facebook or check fishermansprocessing.com for more details. Let's start off with our private boater buddy, our fishdope.com reporter, the man, Captain Mark Wish is on the line from Pacific Edge. What's up, Mark?
Good morning, Ricky, Pete, Michael. Well, guys, we're officially into our fall season here, and it's a fine fall season for sure. Nothing short of spectacular describes what all's going on. And I really want to say congratulations to Matt on his fantastic catch. That was great that you guys did that nice interview at the start of the show there. 662-pound blue on a 21-foot boat just off Point Loma. I mean, oh, my God, what a fantastic
Pretty amazing,
catch.
huh?
So rad.
Yeah. And you can tell Matt is so excited, too. He's really enthusiastic about it. And it's cool, man. I mean, it couldn't have happened to a better guy, you know? Absolutely.
I mean, that's one for the record books. But what's really crazy, I mean, in addition to, that one that he caught, there were several others of similar size hooked and lost right in that kind of same zone from just below the border to, right up to that 9 area where he was, from both a couple days prior all the way up to yesterday. I mean, that area is definitely holding some of them tankers. guys of the Bisbees might want to think about relocating above the border here this year.
Seriously.
A little out of the grid, I think.
Yeah, it might be out of the grid, but, what the heck. But and what's equally amazing is that Matt's incredible catch overshadows another great story from last Sunday. The guy's on a hot spot coming home from the island, hooked and landed a 349.9-pound black marlin, not a blue, a black. Right on top of 14, or just west of 14, on an old wide 4.0 pin with 50-pound mono. Unfortunately, that's not the right gear for that fish. The guy wound up having to hand line it up and ultimately died. But in black, there's not been another black weighed in Southern California since I think JD researched it, and I think it was like 1940. So we got some history in the makings here, guys. So in terms of a little bit more regular stuff, congratulations to the guys that fished the inaugural Avalon Billfish Championship, brand new tournament they're setting up over there. And the guys on the Ruckus took first place, 17 fish released in 2 days. That is like mag-bait-style fishing. Great. Unbelievably good fishing. Right there at, uptight to Anacap and Santa Cruz. So congratulations, CJ. You guys and the crew did an amazing job there. And then a little bit closer to home, you can realistically go out just about anywhere, drop in your Marauders, Rapalas, or big jet heads, all rigged up on wire, of course, and stand a decent chance of hooking a wahoo. I mean, those guys have really moved in here this year, much more than what we saw last year. We saw the Vanguards last year, and we thought that was pretty amazing because there's never been any, but I think we're going to beat last year by a long shot. The stuff is on all the banks, kelp patties, kelp lines, and even open water, and it's just looking really good. There's some smaller ones mixed in, smaller meaning like 35, 40, and there's some really nice ones. Like I mentioned last week, best one I think was been 79. But holy cow! And I think for some first-hand info, I think we need to go to you, Ricky. Can you tell me what that picture was you sent me yesterday afternoon?
Yeah, we got lucky and got ours also. Just unreal that fishing is at our fingertips this close to home. I went with a good buddy of mine, Billy Trevanus, and same deal. We were doing the same thing. It's that fish is around, and so we trolled a couple of big marlin lures and a couple of wahoo lures, and sure enough, I mean, the joke, we were so close home, we were 15 miles exactly from where I clock into work every day.
Wow.
and catching a wahoo.
And catching local wahoos. Yeah, we had a 44-pounder.
Local wahoo.
Yeah, it's
local
just
wahoo.
And yesterday, all those stories at the shop, a good friend of ours, Brandon, was in the store in the morning, going to college in town, dropped off a bunch of jet heads and said, I got class until 10 o'clock. Do you think you guys can re-rig these things with wire before I get back? And then that afternoon, he was telling us about hooking wahoo. Unfortunately, pulled the hook right as I came back to the boat. But in the morning working, and then in the afternoon pulling on wahoos. It's crazy what's going on right now.
This is going to be one for the record books. And the interesting part, guys, I know how you guys start hanging up the gear and thinking about this and that. It's getting better and better.
It's getting better and better. And more opportunities at super exotics like 662-pound blue marlin and 45-pound wahoo and short-billed spearfish and 15 marlin in 2 days. And I mean, Dorado all over. Dorado are kind of like vermin now, like John Ireland used to talk about.
And good ones.
They're big ones.
You can in almost any direction right now, especially down south here, you can find a kelp for really nice gray Dorado. We're talking, East Cape size, nice ones.
Our phone guy Ryan's dad, Grant, said it's aquarium style fishing.
So rad.
Which is, I think, a perfect description. You pull up to a kelp and it looks like an aquarium. Yeah, so Mark, fishdope.com has all the stuff. Danny and the guys have been on it, getting reports from you, from Dave. That's the way you stay on the spots of where the fish are. Fishdope.com, $20 off a new membership to fishdope.com when you use the code HOOKUPNOW, lowercase, no space, HOOKUPNOW, $20 off, fishdope.com. And Mark, how do we find you?
Pete, we're in Huntington Beach on the corner of Bolsa Chica and Edinger. Number at the store is 714-840-4262. Website, PacificEdgeTackle.com, where, maybe depending on what we do tomorrow, I'll put up a picture of a blue marlin or a black marlin or wahoo, maybe yellowfin tuna from the Osborne, maybe a rooster fish from Slow Troll in the beach inside Pyramid Cove. Who the heck knows?
Who the heck knows? Yeah, that's another one. I'll believe that when I see it, a rooster fish.
Hey, man, who knows the way this year's going.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that. We'll talk to you next Saturday.
Yeah, you got it, Pete. We'll see you guys.
All right, very good. Well, Marcos is taking the day off. So from C4 Sport Fishing, but I can guarantee you this, they're catching fish at C4 Sport Fishing.
You think that guy's had a busy, could you imagine the amount of calls, especially C4, running so many boats and so many trips, and those guys do such a good job. That office staff in there is just awesome. And,
they're amazing.
Certainly Marco's leading the charge amongst those guys. So, pretty darn cool. But you always call C4 if you want to go on this trip. San Diego's had really good fishing again this week, and you always say give those guys
tribute, all those guys.
Yeah.
Killing it.
Very cool. Well, hey, that's going to wrap up our catch report for now, which again is sponsored in part by Terrafin Sea Surface Temperature Charge. Terrafin charts give you the latest in water conditions, and they help you catch fish, and more importantly, they help you save fuel because you're going to drive right to where the right water is, and especially right now when you're targeting a hot water fish like a wahoo or a blue marlin, which are oftentimes going to be in the hottest piece of the water. Terrafin is going to basically draw you the chart to go right to it. You can also check out the brand new and improved Terrafin Mobile for your Apple or Android device. You can now take Terrafin with you everywhere you go, all for the same low price. For more information, go to Terrafin.com.
All right. We always say first-time callers go first. That's the same with Lem calling us from Newport. Good morning, Lem. Levi, excuse me, Levi. I got to put my glasses on. Sorry, Levi.
Levi's here. Hang on, Pete.
What's up, Levi? Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for being a first-time caller with us.
Hello.
Good morning.
Okay, we're done with morning. Now we need to know what you want to talk about.
Just wanted to talk about how good I got fish on the sump fun and stuff, and I think Shane and the deckhands.
Great on the sump fun. Yeah, tell us about it.
I caught four tuna, one skipjack, 2 yellowtail, and 1 yellowfin.
My goodness! And how old are you, Levi?
My dad caught a wahoo too.
He caught. Oh, by the way, my dad caught a wahoo.
My dad was on that trip too.
Yeah. So, how old are you?
9.
9 years old, and you love to fish, huh?
Yeah, I loved it. It's fun.
That's cool. And when are you going to go? When's your dad going to take fishing again?
Wait, what?
When's your dad going to take you fishing again?
Tonight.
There you go.
On,
and Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, that's a great place because they really cater to kids. They have all those Kids Fish free days and special offers like that you can download and get a big discount on a 3/4 or half-day trip on the front page of our website, hookup1090.com. Way to go, Levi. Way to catch them, and good luck tonight. We hope you catch a lot more. Captain Art Taylor aboard the Searcher. What's up, Art?
Hey, good morning, Pete, Rick, and Michael. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Art. Could it continue?
Hey, shout out to Michael Schweit there. I think that back probably 25 or 30 years ago, we took Michael out on an albacore trip with 30 people, and it was wide open, and we ruined him for life for fishing on a sport boat. That's why he's a fly fisherman, because he can go out by himself and he doesn't have to deal with 30 people. So
no, you know what? I remember that. That was in 1984. I remember that trip. We caught 497 albacore on a 3-day trip, and we had people on that boat that had never fished before, and they were like, "This albacore fishing is easy." And Art's like, "Yeah, okay, come back with us next year." And Art, I think back to that trip because I wasn't using a fly rod then in the ocean. You know, I hadn't thought about it, and on your trip it would have just been completely awesome.
Yeah, that we have a history there, that's for sure. Like I said, though, I think that I ruined you for fishing on a sport boat from that trip. On.
Not at all. Not at all.
We haven't seen you since.
Life keeps changing in different directions. What can I tell you?
So you were a conventional guy before you were a fly guy.
Yeah. Except I will say this about Art. I used to make him crazy. I had a TLD5 when they first came out, and I was fishing 10-pound test, and he was like, Art's like, "Why are you fishing that light line?" I go, "Shh, don't tell anyone, Art."
That's really cool.
Anyway, we're just finishing up one of our ultra limited load 14 passenger trips here, and oh my gosh, these trips are so awesome. there's so much space back there. Michael, you'd probably be interested. You get
definitely.
your own cabin. And, we just had a great time. We had really, really good yellowtail fishing for a couple days and some yellowfin tuna fishing up to 40 pounds. And so these trips are just so relaxing and lots of room at the rail. And we have one of our longtime customers, Moss Kaneko, is on here. He's 84 years old tomorrow. And so he's been coming out and we have a history going back 45 years, and so it's great to have Moss aboard.
That's fantastic,
That's so cool.
And I know you have several Let's Talk Hookup listeners in there, on there, Dan and Ernie, and I know that sounded so much fun. 14 people, everybody gets their own cabin on a 5-day trip on the 95-foot Searcher. Man, do you have any more of those trips that are coming up, Art?
Well, we do. We have a 6-day trip and a 7-day trip. They're sold out, unfortunately. We do have a couple spots on a 25-passenger 7-day trip at the end of October there. And, the 2016 schedule's coming out, or is out, and, we have several of those 14-passenger ultra-limited load trips in the schedule there. So look forward to 2016.
All right, searchersportfishing.com. You better book those limited loads trips because I know they all fill up, and it sounds like a great opportunity. And for what you get, it's a pretty reasonable price, too. Art Taylor, keep getting them. Glad you had a good trip. Searchersportfishing.com. Appreciate you calling us, of course, because of the delay there, the satellite phone. That's in case you didn't know, that's what he was talking via satellite from the Searcher on the high seas there. All right, one line just opened up. If you want to get through, here's your chance. 877-792-1090 open right now. Let's go ahead and jump into the phones, Rick.
You got it. Rudy in Carlsbad, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Rudy, good morning.
Good morning, Rudy. Hello, Rudy. Okay, Rudy.
Second week in a row there for Rudy. How about we jump back in? This time we'll talk to Greg. Greg's calling from Norco this morning. Hi, Greg. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Greg.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What can we do for you, Greg?
Hello.
Hello. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
Hello.
Hello.
Is this Greg? Hello. Hello?
Yeah.
What is with people today?
I'm here.
Come on, Greg. You're on the air. Let's talk.
I'm here.
Come on.
I'm here. I'm here. Hello.
All right. Let me explain how this works. Let's go back to the basics. Rick says, good morning, you're on Let's Talk Hookup, and you tell us what you want to talk about. How's that work?
Hello.
Right. Okay, goodbye. I can't take that anymore.
That's crazy.
Oh, my gosh. Dave in Ventura. Help me, Dave.
Yeah,
Help me, Dave. Good morning. Good morning, Dave. Oh, you got to be kidding me. What are we going to do?
Hello.
No. Hello,
I don't know what's going on here. Dave in Ventura.
Yeah, good morning,
Dave.
What would you like to
True.
talk
I'll
about?
try and give you my question. I very, very much enjoyed Michael's presentation on fly fishing. I want to dust out my fly rod and catch some ocean or some barred perch out around the beaches of Ventura. I've got two questions. What knot do you tie the fly to the tippet on? And then what ocean flies do you use for the barred perch and stuff? Where do you get them? And
good questions, Dave.
Yeah, pretty much. If you're not going to tie around the place closest, I think, to you up in Ventura, I'm drawing a blank right
Fisherman
now.
Spot.
Fisherman Spots in Van Nuys, and I think there's
yeah.
some others that may have them. Pretty much for me in the surf, if I'm fishing surf perch, you can use anything you want as long as it's got orange in it. That's kind of that's kind of the thing that we've always found. Orange and red is always the big attractors. I mean, even things like a simple woolly bugger, as long as you want a weighted fly so it's hanging on the bottom.
weighted fly, okay.
Yeah, you want to keep, because everything's down on the bottom with this. You know, you're going to use a sinking line.
Like how much of a sinking line?
200, like a 200 grain line. And typically, and this is one thing we get all the time, is people that trout fish are like, I want to get into surf fishing, but I need new gear. You don't need new gear. You can go surf fishing with a 5-weight rod. Yeah, you might hook like a 15-pound halibut and go, woohoo, tink, and break the tip, but you're not going to hurt the rod or anything. But for surf fishing like that, a 5-weight rod with a 200-grain line on it would be, it's probably a little bit undergunned, but it's a good start, to be doing things like that.
A more appropriate would be maybe a 6 or a 7?
6 or a 7 weight, yeah.
Okay.
Because you're throwing a weighted fly and a weighted line. So when you move up a little bit with a heavier rod, it's a little bit easier to cast than kind of, overloading that rod.
One of the recommended lines to me when surf fishing was a 250-grain striper line.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
So like what they use for striper
yes,
in the
exactly.
surf
That'd
on
be
the
fine.
East Coast.
Like I said, I use the lead core lines with the monofilament running lines behind it because in the surf, some of the integrated lines are floating behind that shooting head, and so what happens is the floating part is getting tossed around by the waves, and you're not keeping in contact with the fly, which is what you want to do. You want to always be in direct contact. In terms of a knot for things like that, I want that fly to move around. I want that fly to look active, so I'm going to do some kind of a loop at the end, a perfection loop, to put the fly out there with that. And you know what? My cousin-in-law, as I call him, Kevin, we also call him Hoover, because that's what he does when he goes surf perch fishing, is he just hoovers all the fish off the beach. I mean, they just follow this guy. He's always fishing a 2-fly rig, and doing that. And,
in the surf.
Yeah, and he gets doubles all the time.
Really?
And it's just a trip, yeah. And so
so what's the 2-fly rig? Explain it to us.
He'll say it's usually, it's kind of like a nip rig, that you're tying one fly and
like 2 clousers or 2
clousers or one lighter fly and a heavier fly on the end.
Okay.
And what you're doing is you're usually what you do, the simplest thing is your tag end coming off the fly is you leave the tag end long and then put the next fly onto that.
Okay.
And there's a couple of different ways to rig that up, but he'll fish 2 flies. I don't particularly like it because I hate when I get knotted up. I'm like, I'm happy to catch one fish at a time.
Do you use a stripping basket in the surf?
Always in the surf. To go without a stripping basket in the surf is to really frustrate yourself because you've got wave action, so the line's going to be around your feet. And if you have that one small little thing to catch on your boot or on, even your toes, it's amazing how that will hang up on a toenail. But it's just like, there's the fly line. So, a stripping basket makes your life a lot easier to cast further and to really keep that thing going.
And a stripping basket can be something as simple. They make fancy stripping baskets.
They make fancy stripping baskets that you can go buy, and the Spot's got them, and any of the stores have them, and you can go make your own. If you go online, you can go buy all this stuff over.
Go buy one of those dish things.
You buy a dish basket, you put a bunch of holes in it, put a belt on it, and you can make your own stripping basket. Yes, okay. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's guys, thank you very much. I really enjoy your program.
Oh, thanks, Dave.
Great.
Appreciate you calling this morning.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming away, including more of your phone calls. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Have you ever imagined casting a fly or a lure on one of the most beautiful and productive rivers in Alaska? At Katmai Lodge, you can catch up to all 5 species of Pacific salmon. The king, sockeye, chump, pink, and silver salmon, along with rainbow trout, Arctic grayling, Dolly Varden, and other native stream fish. When anglers dream of trophy salmon and trout, the Alagnak River is their destination, and Katmai Lodge is the premier base camp. Being the original river-based lodge on the Alagnak gives the facility a leg up on the competition. Both experienced and novice anglers have rated Katmai Lodge and its knowledgeable guides as the best of the best. Katmai Lodge is remote, yet offers all the amenities of a first-class lodge. During your Alaska visit, you'll see amazing wildlife, brown bears, caribou, eagles, moose, otters, and much more. Schedule a day trip on their private de Havilland Otter Float Plane and visit the world-famous Brooks Falls. Book online at katmai.com or call 1-800-330-0326. That's katmai.com or call 1-800-330-0326 for the fishing adventure of a lifetime.
22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro is home to LA's finest open party fleet, including overnights on the Freedom, Catalina Freelance on the Pursuit, half-day trips on the Monte Carlo, and 3/4-day trips on the Native Sun. Plus, you can charter the Ultra, Spectra, and True Line. There is always plenty of free parking and a fully stocked tackle store. Take advantage of the Wednesday specials on the Pursuit and Monte Carlo, and kids fish free with a paid adult on the afternoon half-day. 22nd Street Landing Sport Fishing in San Pedro. Call 310-832-8304 or book online at 22ndstreet.com.
Lobster season's here. It's time to gear up with the best in the business, Promar, based out of SoCal. Promar knows lobster and makes everything you need to catch these tasty critters. The Promar guys are hardcore lobster fishermen and have all styles of hoop nets to commercial, grade rope, buoys, and baiting accessories. Visit Promar on Facebook or on the web at promarnets.com. The Sport Fishing Association of California is taking a leadership role to broaden the fishing opportunities for Southern California anglers. And Saturday, October October 3rd, Pete Gray will be traveling to Ensenada, Mexico with the president of SAC, Captain Ken Frankie, and his staff to host a very important live broadcast from Hotel Corral and Resort in Ensenada. The broadcast will feature some key personnel from Mexico Fisheries and help strengthen the ties with the sport fishing fleet in Southern California and Mexico. They will also discuss the great fishing opportunities available in Ensenada. SAC's mission is to promote tourism through marine recreation and educational activities while protecting ocean resources. By working together with Mexico, we can show our care for the resources both at home and across the border, and our desire to take an active role to help protect the future of our fisheries. So mark your calendar for Saturday, October 3rd, a very special live broadcast from Ensenada, Mexico, with the Sport Fishing Association of California. Check CaliforniaSportFishing.org for more information. Meet the Innovation Award-winning Yamaha V6 offshore 4-strokes at 300, 250, and 225 horsepower. These Predators are up to 73 pounds lighter than the competition, and with class-leading 4.2-liter displacements, they're up to 19% faster and up to 17% more fuel efficient at cruise RPM than comparable 4-strokes. And now they're available with Helmmaster, Yamaha's fully integrated boat control system. Meet the next generation of Yamaha V6 offshore 4-strokes today at your local Yamaha dealer. Helmmaster available with V6s purchased only as part of new boat packages from Boat Builder Partners.
Fisherman's Landing has been the choice of sport fishing anglers for decades, with the largest fleet of long-range boats worldwide, complemented by Southern California's finest charter and open party fleet. Now is the time to book your long-range trips and charters, plus half-day trips aboard the Dolphin. Go to fishermanslanding.com and see trip availability, and even book your trip online. Stop by or call Fisherman's Landing in San Diego and book now at fishermanslanding.com.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know: CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere. Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. We're all telling horror stories of the fly line loose loop ending a good thing.
You have a good one, a blue marlin in the East Cape. It's like one of the things about fly fishing is that part of the fun. It's
totally.
Part of the challenge.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
right?
the previous year we had been down there, and my friend Dave Schaefer hooked and landed. And it was funny. My friend had one of the earlier video cameras. We've actually got this, and I should probably digitize this thing and post it on the website. And he got Dave hooking and landing a 250-pound blue. And it was one of those days on the East Cape where it was as flat as a pancake, and one of the shots is this marlin coming out of the water and jumps 13 times in a row. And you're just watching each dip coming out of the water. It's just outstanding. And they got the fish up to the boat and let him go. So we went down the following year, and it was my turn on that. And we had, like I was telling you guys, this fish was just crazy. He ate the hookless jigs. We couldn't get him off the jigs.
And teasers to get the fish up.
We had one teaser out at about 50 feet, one on the boat line, which was like at 15 feet, and we couldn't get him off the 50-footer, and we finally let go of that. We wound that rod in. He grabbed the other one at the boat, and the captain's trying to get him off, and he's pulling on this thing. And I strip all my line back in, and I drop the fly in the water literally 15 feet from the boat, and this fish comes out of the water, just nails this thing.
How big? I mean, 300, 400, 500 pounds?
1,000 pounds at least.
Yeah,
you know.
It always is that big.
It was the largest. It was the largest thing that I'd ever seen that close to the boat, and eats the fly, just slams it and taken off the line, and I'd stripped that line back in. It was on the deck, and as that last loop came off the boat, like Rick was just saying, you do that infamous thing that you're not watching, and the loop wrapped around the back of the reel and blasted the hook real hard at that point. It was slam. Oh, look.
Bing, bing, pow.
And the fish kept jumping, even with the fly, and then he turned around and ate the jig that was still in the water, the hookless jig. It was just one of those moments.
What kind of fly are you fishing for?
Big.
How big?
Big.
Like 6 inches?
10, 12 inches.
Really?
Yeah. And a lot of times we're using trailer hooks on something like that.
How exciting.
Similar to the size of the marlin jig that you got him to come up on.
Yeah. You're just, if they're going to eat, you guys know with marlin, when they're going to eat, they're going to eat. It's not even imitating like what they're eating. They're going to eat something.
Yeah.
But it can be done. But I mean, Dave landed that fish that year, and it was like, wow, we can do this.
That's awesome.
Unbelievable. I want to remind you, be sure to check out our Yamaha Outboards archive page. We do a great job. Our guy Adam is just so amazing at getting those things. I mean, I was listening to you while I was over in Hawaii last week. After it's 3 hours earlier, so it was after the show.
Trust
but
me, you free pass.
But Adam got those
live.
things up like instantaneously,
so
and
cool.
so Matt, amazing how the technology is able to get that up there. So it's on our Yamaha Outboards archive page. You can listen 7/24 anywhere in the world to Let's Talk Hookup from today's show right after the broadcast, or last week's, or several weeks or months ago. You can listen to the broadcast on our Yamaha Outboard archive page there. Also want to remind you, check out our store, Let's Talk Hookup store. We have all kinds of great stuff on the store. We have those custom-made Let's Talk Hookup cedar plugs. We have the new coffee mugs. We have the AFCO shirts, the travel shirts, and T-shirts and hats, and all kinds of different stuff on there. We have those custom lures, the flying fish lure, which is a red hot lure, the high five
especially
lure.
with all the flyers that are out right now, because
man.
the flying fish color has been like the hot local lure, and that's got the wings on it bitching. That'd be a really good one right now.
Very
good
call,
one.
Actually. It's all available on our website, hookup1090.com, on our shop page. Just go to the shop page and check that out. Now, don't forget, we will be live from Ensenada 1 week from today with the Sport Fishing Association of California. Ken Franke, I understand Tim Ekstrom's going to come down. We have a bunch of the Mexico dignitaries going to join us on the show. So that's 7 to 9 a.m. next Saturday, live from the Hotel Corral in Ensenada, Mexico. We'll be down there, and Ricky will be here in the studio. I'll be down there in Mexico and having a good time.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Fishing down off of Ensenada there. Hey, let's talk poker. How's that sound? We have Mr. Jim Holden, the head of Friends of Rollo, our director. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Pete. Good morning, Rick. How you doing?
Hey,
Jim,
doing
good
terrific.
morning.
A big event coming up next Saturday, October the 3rd, a week from today, at 6 o'clock at the Dana Point Yacht Club in Dana Point Harbor. It's the 5th annual Texas Hold'em fundraiser, right?
That's right. That's right. And I'll tell you guys, this is such a fun event. In fact, Rick, you've been to this, right?
I have several times. It's a really, really cool event, and it's a lot of fun. It's half serious. It's a lot more fun than that. It's cool people, and it's a great event. You do an awesome job. I love it.
Yeah, and this is the way it works. It's $100 buy-in, which is tax deductible, and all registered Hold'em players get a 3/4 day pass just for registering from the Dana Wharf. Donnie Calez and
for $100.
Yeah, I mean they've been so supportive. The final table winners, really cool prizes. First, everyone at the final table gets a pair of rainbow sandals. And then the top winners, first place gets like a 3-night stay at the St. Regis, and then 2-night stay at the Balboa Bay Club, including a couples massage. We have a Wyland painting we're giving out, dinner for 4 at the Montage, a stay at the Doubletree. It's just a blast.
Wow.
And what makes this really unique is we have all these ball players coming that have bounties on their heads. So, for example, like Jim, it's a mix of football, NFL, and baseball guys like Jim Everett, Billy Joe Hobart, Chuck Finley from the Angels, Ron Brown, Jarrett Wright from the Yankees, etc. Now, the bounty means that like there'll be a player at every table, and if you knock them out of the tournament, they have to get up, take the walk of shame over to a whole display of hats, pick out the hat for the team they played with, come back, sign it, and get a photo op with whoever bounced them out.
Very nice.
Cool, man.
That's cool. And it's limited to 150 players maximum. $100 to buy your seat. That's it, huh?
That's it, and this will sell out. So you know,
all the money goes to taking kids fishing. That's what it's all about.
That's right.
100%.
And to sign up, they can go to just RolloKids.org. And if anybody wants more information about it, they can give me a call at 949-285-8819. And then in addition to the poker, there's like a $25 general admission to get in. We'll have blackjack. There'll be a band, dance floor. We're going to give away a whole bunch of cool raffle prizes. But that's it, guys. It's all about helping get more kids out fishing, and it's a really, really fun night.
That's next Saturday, a week from today, at 6 p.m. at the Dana Point Yacht Harbor in Dana Point Harbor. Come help take kids fishing, and it sounds like a fun event. Ricky, you've been there. It's a good time.
It's awesome. It's a really fun atmosphere. Everybody's laughing and joking, and it's there's killer raffle prizes, and it's a fun. I couldn't recommend it enough.
Go to RolloKids.com.
.org.
Oh, RolloKids.org. Excuse me. RolloKids.org and sign up right on the website.
You bet. And it is, like I say, just a blast. And Rick, like you mentioned, it's not a serious tournament. It's everybody just there for the cause, having a good time. I mean, there are outstanding prizes to win, but it is just, again, it's just a real fun night.
And meet some real key sports figures there, too, all those guys. That's fantastic. Jim, keep up the great work with Friends of Rollo and have a great time. It's next Saturday's Texas Hold'em fundraiser.
There we go.
Hot Rodder. Thanks a lot, Jim. Appreciate it very much.
All right. See you guys.
Thanks, Jim. All right, let's jump right back into the phones. Let's talk to Pete, calling us from San Diego. What's up, Pete? Good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Great.
Morning.
Hey, I wanted to ask you about the different weight, in terms of pounds that I should use for single-strand wahoo lures. I've seen that a lot of people have been getting bit on, trolling jigs with, of course, multiple strand cable, which I use for my Marauder. We haven't got one yet, but we're going to get one tomorrow, I guarantee.
There you go. All right.
Nice.
I got the right attitude. But, if we get up on a patty and we do have some fish swimming around there, what would you suggest in terms of, 34, 54, 60-pound single strand for tying on the jigs and casting? Trying to get one to bite a, a surface iron or bite a, tatty, something like that.
Sure. For a jig, I would say 50-pound would be on the light side and 90-pound on the kind of heaviest side. With most of the jigs we rig are with 60-pound wire or something very close to, whether you use a tieable or we just like the standard twistable single strand wire. Haywire twist each side, 18 inches long with a ring up top and the rest of the jig. So like a 60-pound, 69-pound wire, something like that. To the jig is what we like. For bait fishing, you can go lighter. Wire doesn't have a lot of shock strength like mono. A lot of people think, well, 90-pound is plenty heavy enough, but it doesn't work the same way that mono does. You can use an 80-pound leader on your mono when you get a bite on the troll and it stretches. Well, wire doesn't have that stretch. It pops easier, which is why you use the real heavy cable for trolling. Jig fishing, you can reduce it down a lot more because the bite's not as intense, so you can get down into that 90 to even as light as 60-pound wire, and then bait fishing even less of a shock. So that's when you can get all the way down to 30 and 40-pound. But to answer your question, 60-pound wire would be about perfect.
There you go. And Michael, thanks a lot for the call, Michael. What about if wahoo are great fly fishing adversaries, right?
Never caught one, but we know they're out there,
and they do catch them, right?
We will be fishing wire on the 2-day. There's no doubt about it.
How do you rig a fly on wire?
There's actually tieable wire. That we have in the fly fishing that I think up to 30 or 40 pounds.
Titanium?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's actually a stranded wire, but you can actually tie a much easier knot than going to a crimp or a sleeve or anything like that.
Rather than a haywire.
Yeah.
And a perfection loop, which is a very common knot in fly fishing, is usually like the best knot to tie in the tieable wire.
Right.
Is it really?
One of the few ones that actually cinches
it.
You can tie like the clinch knots and things like that, but they never really cinch all the way like mono does. They stay kind of loose and open. They hold, but they just look kind of funky. But a perfection loop gets nice and small and tight, and it's about the best one to tie in that tieable wire.
And when we fish for the big barracuda, like down in Ascension Bay in Mexico, that's what we put on is that tieable wire. It's great.
That's cool.
Okay, and you can get that in most tackle stores or fly fishing stores.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Yeah, you sell it at Fisherman's Landing Tackle?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, tieable wire.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of different brands out there. We have the American Fishing Wire. We really like it. It's good, easy to work with, not too terribly expensive. It's cool stuff.
All right, check it out. Hey, let's go ahead and jump back into the phones.
You got it. How about this time we talked to Bill? He's calling us from Newberry Park this morning. Good morning, Bill. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
How you doing? I got a couple of questions for Michael. First, about the fair, I'm kind of an intermediate fly fisherman. I got a buddy who's kind of a rookie and another buddy who's advanced. If the three of us go to the fair, is like my advanced buddy going to be bored and my rookie buddy be overwhelmed, or will there be something for all?
No, there's pretty much, if you go to our website, there's a thing there on categories of classes that'll show what we have, and we've got things from the beginner to the intermediate to the advanced.
And everything in between.
Everything's in between. I mean, literally, and this year we have like a lot of women's classes because we found that a lot of women do better in taking classes without the guys around because women actually listen for one thing, and don't try to like over strengthen the rod, so they do really well. We've got kids classes. We've got events for people that don't fly fish. I mean, the city of Bishop really rolled out the welcome mat for us and doing a lot of things, so we've got that. But no, for your friends coming up there, there'll be plenty for them to do and plenty of different classes to teach. I mean, even in the fly tying, we have from the rank beginner to really, advanced techniques in fly tying. So there's plenty for them, Bill.
SouthwestCouncilFFF.org.
And we've also got the SWC-FFF.org.
Yeah. And like you said, just Google Fly Fishing Fair and it'll come right up.
And Bill, you said you had something else?
Yeah, if you can't make it to the fair, is the Southwest Council doing anything else where somebody who wants to learn about fly fishing can get information, like, say, in March?
Yeah, we've got actually a couple of things. I mean, we're always at the Fred Hall Show. They're big supporters of getting us down there and exposing fly fishing to the public. But right after the Hall Show, we've got an event called the Double Hall Ball, which is down at Long Beach Casting Club, which we teach people that it's a big thing about surf fishing. So we teach, and because we're at the Long Beach Casting Club, we've got fly tiers showing you how to tie the flies for the surf. But then we could take you right out to the pond and go through the whole casting thing. That's a free event. I mean, we actually charge for lunch, and that's about it. But that one's free.
And you're at the Fred Hall Show. You're going to have a pretty good display of Fred Hall.
Yeah, we always have a good thing there. And then
in Long Beach, Fred Hall.
Right. Yes. And then following the Double Hall Ball, usually in the month of May, we have an event called the One Surf Fly, which is a fundraising tournament that we do. That it's exactly what it is. It's everybody to enter the tournament, you have to put in a fly into a bag. And then you pick a fly, and we fish for 2 hours on some beach. Cool. We don't know where it'll be. We always, there's a guy that runs this for us, Al Q, who's been doing it for 8 years. And and you go out there fishing from like 7 to 9. It's first fish, most fish, biggest fish. So there's all kinds of ways of learning.
The carp throwdown. Tell us about that.
The carp throwdown. That's a newer event. Al's been involved with that. Also, Conway Bowman, who I think a lot of you guys know down here. That I think it's been at Lake Henshaw. And carp is I don't want to say newer thing. I mean, it's probably been going on now like 5-10 years. But carp are really tough. And so they've been doing this tournament there at the lake. And they're tough fish to get.
I've caught
and so they do a thing where they go down there Friday night. And I think they rent those little yurts. And they camp down there and just have some music and do the whole thing. And then Saturday they do actually 2 classes with the carp throwdown. They do from the boat that 2 guys can fish from a boat, and then they have a wade class.
And Conway does this.
And Conway does this.
Wow, that's cool.
And it's really fun, especially going after the carp like we talked. Carp are a real trip.
They are, and they pull hard.
They pull real hard. It's really funny because we always laugh because there's really slow swimmers, and you're like, yeah, and then one comes over and eats the fly, and you set the hook, and it's like, whoa, what just happened to me?
Yeah. Big fish in thin water.
Yeah, very thin.
Yeah. Hey, lots of things to do with them. Thanks a lot for joining us this morning on Let's Talk Hookup.
Tony in Santa Barbara, another first-time caller's on the line. What's up, Tony?
Hi, how you doing? I'm on my way down to San Diego to get on the Old Gloria, one-day trip. But I don't know what to use for trolling.
There's a lot of options right now. Tony, if it were me that were going on a sport boat right now, I think I would just, the odds of getting a tuna or a dorado are much higher, and if that's what you wanted to do, troll something small and brightly colored, a cedar plug or a little hoochie skirt or something like that. But the way I see it with this season that's been so good, and we've all probably had our shot and caught some tuna this season, how could you not take a shot at trying to catch a wahoo right now? I would spend my time, hoping to get a wahoo, and for that, you either want to troll a big swimming lure, like a Marauder or a Rapala X-Rap 30, or some type of a big jetted lure, a big jet head, something like that, and make sure you got it rigged on 275-pound wire or larger.
And go into Fisherman's Landing Tackle, have them rig it for you, get you the right stuff. They know exactly what to do there. Hey, good luck on your trip. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. The home of the Fly Fishing Fair in Bishop. We have Steve. Good morning, Steve.
Oh, good morning. Gosh, I hesitate to say hello.
Yeah, please
don't.
don't.
Work out last time. Yeah, curious combination. I live in Bishop. I'm driving to San Diego for a 7-day on the Angler tomorrow morning.
How funny.
Nice, Steve. Right on.
So it's the best of both worlds. Michael, I really look forward. Oh, gosh, it's been great listening to you. I look forward to attending your fair. It's a bit of a drive from my house, about a mile.
Oh, I hope you can make it. If not, we could send a bike over there or something for you.
Going on my calendar. So anyway, I'm stoked about this 7-day, and here's the fun question, Rick. I brought my own trolling outfit with a big old Marauder. Where should I drop it? In the bay? Should I wait to catch at the point? What do you think? Right anywhere, huh?
We had a big joke about this yesterday. Brandon Bono, who works in our tackle store, was on a 3/4 day trip two or 3 days ago when Danny Wade caught a wahoo on the 3/4 day. And the joke is, anytime you clear the Whistler buoy at this point, we're considering it offshore. So yeah, once the scales get washed off the rail from load and bait, you're good to go.
There you go. Well, good luck on your 7-day, and we'll see you at the Fly Fishing Fair in Bishop. Captain Bill Cavanaugh aboard the Amigos calling. Good morning, Bill. You catching some fish up there?
Hey, good morning, Pete. Great you got me in. Thank you. Yeah, we're doing good. I just wanted to check in. I haven't called in a couple of weeks, but we've been steady catching tuna here out of Ventura up in the 805, and we actually put together a really nice morning so far. We're starting out a 2-day trip here this morning. And I'm watching yellowfin tuna jump out of the water right outside my wheelhouse window.
Oh,
but we've been steady on this. I'd call it 18 to 30-pound grade yellowfin tuna. We got a little better than 40 fish on board already for the morning. We do have one fish that's right at about 40 pounds. So we're still catching yellowfin tuna and a little bit of bluefin up here. So far this morning, it's going very well for us.
Man, and you're going to continue to run until the fish swim away. You want to go catch some marlin. That's also been the hot spot for marlin right out your back door, right?
Yeah, I got a little sneaker spot for marlin. We might try later on this trip. But, yeah, it's good. I mean, it's just quite the warm water year all up and down the coast. But we're taking advantage of it up here in Ventura, and we've been steady catching fish, having a good time doing it.
How do we get a hold of you if we want to go fishing aboard the Amigo?
Yeah, just give Ventura Sport Fishing a call at area code 805-676-3474. You can book online and get more information on the website at venturasportfishing.com or at amigosportfishing.com.
Thanks for the call, Bill. Appreciate it. Keep getting them. Better go cast the line. Appreciate the call this morning.
That's great.
Greg in Norco. Just about 30 seconds left. Greg, you have a quick question?
I was just calling to talk about the fair a little bit. I'm actually teaching in one of the beginning classes there. But
very good.
Yeah, the introduction to fly fishing class. Basically, we're if you have no experience, there's a couple of those classes being taught, and that's the class to take. We'll go over basic equipment. Spend about 4 hours on that, and then get them out on the water fishing.
Wow,
that's rad, Greg.
So you teach them on the land, and then you actually take them to the local water. That's the advantage of being in Bishop. There's a lot of local water. Where would you be fishing?
Probably right there below Pleasant Valley Reservoir.
Okay, in the fly fishing zone.
Yeah,
in the Lower Owens.
Yeah, Greg's with Deep Creek Fly Fishers, and they're one of the clubs that's doing the introductory class, and they're really, really good.
So you could have never touched a fly rod and come to your class and actually learn to do some fly fishing.
Correct. Yeah, we're going to teach them, all the basic knots, some basic casting, and then, get them on the water and catch some fish.
That's cool, Greg. Well, sorry we ran out of time, but good job for you, and thanks for joining us on Let's Talk Hookup this morning.
Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out what lucky guy's got himself an AFTCO all-weather fishing kite. More Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Mighty 1090.
No matter the fishing conditions, count on the Seaguar family of fluorocarbon leader material to help you catch more fish. Fluoro Premier has a smaller diameter with the highest break strength. Plus, it is super soft. When bites are tough, tie on Fluoro Premier. Blue Label is tough as nails with incredible abrasion resistance and impact strength. And new Pink Label is the choice for tough light conditions, giving you a little more visibility for better line control. Pick up a spool of Seaguar at your favorite tackle dealer or visit Seaguar.com.
My Angler H2O. I will never use that fakey fluorescent pink bait or drag my hula popper through the mud. I will outmaneuver drought-exposed stumps, rocks, and submerged station wagons, and outsmart the ravenous river otter. I will save water by taking shorter showers for higher lakes, and I will always, always wear my life jacket.
What's your H2O? Tell us at BoatCalifornia.com. The California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways reminds you to wear it, California.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
Rancho Leonero is very family-oriented. People have brought their children down, and now they're bringing their children. It's not unusual to have 3 generations of family at the hotel. Grandpa, Dad, and normally sons, sometimes daughters. The families come back year after year, and it's a safe place for the kids. It's small, it's intimate. right on the water, 2 miles of beachfront. The water's very shallow in front. There's no currents to speak of, no waves. We have childcare, $10 a day for a babysitter. Security is high at Rancho Leonero. It's really unnecessary, but it adds up comfort level. And we really do encourage the families. It's a great place for family reunions, family get-togethers, weddings. We do it all. 1-800-646-2252, 646-BAJA. And RanchoLeonero.com. There's nowhere that I could think of to have the same atmosphere and the same experience that you get at Rancho Leonero. We love families.
Great boats, free parking, and a fully stocked tackle shop. Just a few of the reasons Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top charter boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Eclipse, Apollo, Outer Limits, Pacific Star, El Gato Dos, Alexis, Pride, Privateer, Tribute, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth Sea Watch in San Diego offer the finest half, 3/4, and full-day trips available. Check out the full-service tackle store at Seaforth Sport Fishing. And it's all run by fishermen for fishermen. 1717 Quivira Road, just off Mission Bay Drive in Mission Bay. Book online at seaforthlanding.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
The best NFL coverage is right here.
Inside the pylon for a touchdown.
San Diego's sports leader, the Mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. The big winner of the AFTCO All-Weather Kite and the AFTCO Kite Clip Kit is going to Tony in Santa Barbara. Tony, congratulations. Nobody makes better offshore gear than AFTCO.
Yeah, they're the best. Absolutely. And thank you, Michael Schweit, president of the Southwest Council Federation of Fly Fishers. It's a mouthful, but it's a great organization.
I'm trying to shorten it for you.
Yeah, and you did a good job with that website,
great.
by the way. Really, really great show. A lot of interest in fly fishing, both freshwater, saltwater. And come on, guys, the Bishop deal, perfect venue.
Yep.
And
so beautiful.
The ultimate deal. And admission is how much?
Admission's $15 for all 3 days if it's a family.
Wait. $15 for all 3 days.
And we've got 80 classes. Some of them are paid classes, but I think there's free seminars going on like all the time.
Yeah, like the one Greg was just talking about.
All kinds of different fishing opportunities that are up there. So, yeah, there's plenty to do. And for a family, it's $20 for a family of 4 for all 3 days.
For the whole family?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
And how do we get in?
You get in, the registration's online through the classes. That's the best way to do it. We take walk-ups. That's easy.
So if you're going to just spend the weekend up in Bishop or Mammoth
Lake, you can just
Lakes
walk right on up and sign up. The only disadvantage to that is that the class that you want to take fills. So the best way to do it is if you register online, which you go to our website, which is swc-fff.org/fair, FAIRE.
Okay.
And that'll take you there. Or just go to our website and you're going to see it. I mean, that's obviously our most prominent.
Southwest Council, FFF.org.
That's the most prominent thing that we have.
And the easiest way to do that is just to Google Fly Fishing
Fair. Yeah, even if you spell the fair without an E, we're still going to be the ones that are going to show up right now.
It's going to pop right up, and it's in Bishop.
We're it.
And the dates, once again?
16th through the 18th.
A beautiful time.
I guarantee you beautiful weather up there.
And there is water.
There is water. There is, yes. That's everybody's always concerned about the drought, the Owens, there's lakes up there. Things are low. There's no doubt about that. You're fishing different opportunities is what you're doing, but there is fishing still going on.
Yeah.
And a lot of it.
All right. Michael, thanks for taking
the time
to come down here. Thank you for listening today. We're going to be back tomorrow morning. It's lobster season coming up here very soon. Jim Salazar, the guru himself from Promar, is going to be in the studio to tell us how to catch those bugs tomorrow morning, 7 to 9 a.m. Thanks for listening today. We'll see you tomorrow morning right back here on the Mighty 1090.